In today's video, I am going to be breaking down how you can beat zone defenses at the high school level. This isn't like an amateur or a middle school or even an elementary zone. These guys generally know how to play a zone and they can move quickly inside that zone. So you need to have plans involved to be able to pass that ball extremely fast, get that ball into the paint and kick it out so that you can collapse that defense. So let's get down. Let's check out these basketball plays. Really quickly, if you want an unbeatable defense, make sure to go check out the unbeatable basketball zone defense that is down in the description below. Now let's get down, let's check out these plays. Okay, so first we're going up against a 2-3 zone, and of course they're not going to be playing a zone like this. They're probably going to be forcing this guy towards his right side, and player 1 is going to be taking that free throw line. Player 3 is going to shadow up top, player 4 is going to shadow up top, and player 5 is going to be down in the bottom of the key, just to watch the bottom two guys right here. This is most likely how a 2-3 zone will look when you start playing in a game. Now this first play I call stack. I run it myself with every team that I coach. We're going to have a pass over towards that wing. Player 3 is going to shadow until player 1 is able to get over. That's how the 2-3 will work. And player 1 needs to cut down into this corner. When this happens, the zone is going to move like that. And now player 2 is going to be watching that high post. At the same time, I really do want to get player 5 into the high post. That way we have a super overload with 4 guys on that one side. Now, most likely we're going to be having player 2 trying to cover that side of player 5, having his arm in front just so that he can somewhat cover. Nobody really wants the ball into the post, let's face it. So there's a few ways that we can do this. Of course, our first option is when player 1 cuts down, if he receives that pass back, he should be taking that 3. That's our first option. If he is not open, we can then, of course, pass this ball back around. Player 2 can then go to the point. Player 3 can pass to player 2. Player 2 is then going to dribble towards that left side. That's going to draw player 4 up, and we're going to have player 1 swing to that far wing. We're going to have players 5 and 4 cross. All of this movement, getting that ball across this imaginary line, is going to mess up the defense. We're going to have that pass down to the corner as fast as we can, and this should be the first option looking like a 3-point shot. We can also get that ball into the high post really quick, which can draw up player 5, in which case a high to low post pass can be an easy layup, depending on how fast the defense is shifting. If the defense shifts quick enough, we can then kick that ball out to player 3, who can then dribble over towards this side. That's going to then have player 1 swing the baseline again. Player 5 and 4 is crossing. We're going to have that pass over to player 1. And of course, player 1 is going to be looking to get a 3. Notice the similarities between each of these. Of course, everyone's going to try and get that shift over. If we get that ball into the low post, player 5 is going to cut. If he gets that open for that pass, then he can go for that layup. If not, maybe he'll kick that ball out, in which case player 1 is going to then shift sides again. We can have a 3-point option here. We can pass to the low post. Player 4 is going to go to the low to high post. Everyone's shifting back. We could have player 4 then cut again. There's so many different options. All we're trying to do is to try and get that ball past that imaginary midline as many times as possible and trying to feed that corner so that we can get some open threes. All of these plays work against a 2-3 or a 3-2 or really almost any kind of zone. However, this next one I like to call the S play, and what we're going to do here is have player 5 set the screen on player 3. Player 3 is going to go to the corner. Player 1 is going to dribble over towards this side. We're going to do a skip pass down to player 3, which is going to draw player 5 out. Player 5 red is going to roll to the basket. This is going to be a pass to player 5. He could have the layup, or he could kick it out for a 3, 5 player 4. If these guys shift down, this could be an extra pass for a 3 by player 2. There's a few different options here. Now, a similar play can also work against a 2-3 zone as well. So the idea in this one is to have that pin down screen instead. Player 5 is going to be cutting towards that high post by attacking the middle of the key, and player 3 screening and now rolling and sealing towards the middle of the key. This is going to draw player 4 up, pass down to player 3 for that layup, but he has to be sealing his man. So while those last two plays, one will work against a 3-2, the other works against a 2-3. These work against really most any zones. So what you need to do with these is to try and figure out what the other team is running, and you can say whatever this play is called in your team, you can say down or up, which is a down screen or a back screen, one or the other. And it's the same play, same idea. We're trying to get and hit that roll man when that defense, of course, pulls out and starts guarding the ball. That's going to allow us to get a lot of baskets. Now, a play that's super successful with myself is what I call the S play. Now, this can be ran as an elevator or against a zone. So you can run an elevator screen for a player. These guys close, and he gets wide open for a 3. This is the exact same play, just against the zone. The difference is you're setting screens for those two guys, and then your shooter goes between those two players. Player one's going to hit him with a pass, and he's going to take that 3-point shot. Super simple, super easy, and can get you a ton of threes. If you are looking for a crazy defense that works all the time, make sure to go check out my Unbeatable Basketball Zone Defense book that is down in the description below. And I'll see you guys again in my next video.